Welcome to the FOCUS Broadband TV High School Football Game of the Week. We're coming to you for the first time in 2023 from M.H. Rourke Stadium on the campus of West Brunswick High School in Charlotte. I am Sam Hickman, joined by Jay Combs. The Topsail Pirates have traveled to take on the Trojans here on Youth Night. And Jay, looks like Topsail's going to have to contend with four teams. You've got the Trojans of West Brunswick, and then the teams from the local youth league, the Charlotte Bucks, the Topsail Pirates, and the Lockwood Folly Chiefs running out onto the field with the Trojans tonight.
Yeah, you can see them all coming out right now, Sam. Looks like some future Trojans for sure in that young bunch of football players.
And, Jay, I spent a good bit of time with those three groups. It's 6 different teams before the game, and some good-looking kids in that group, but not quite as grown and mature as the young men we're about to watch tonight, as the visiting Topsail Pirates at 2 wins and 1 loss have traveled to Charlotte to take on the 0-3 Trojans, who are under the leadership of first-year head coach Shane Handy. Jay, a big crowd, as there always is on youth night, and the host Trojans will have their hands full with a Topsail team that's off to an impressive start.
Yeah, these kids from Topsail are good. And they throw the ball, they score a lot, 35 points a game, only give up 18 points per game. A couple of kids to watch and watch soon. Number 7, Eli Hebron, he is their quarterback. 50 for 77, 676 yards, 10 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. So that's a wonderful ratio for Hebron. Ryder Wilcox has caught 15 passes for a touchdown. Caden Wilson, who is also the backup quarterback, does a little bit of everything offensively. He can catch, he can run, and he can throw. It's just a fine offensive attack. They've got some guys that are doing some big things defensively, too. 52, Austin Hobson, a senior defensive lineman, 26 total tackles on the season. They got a bunch of guys that are averaging 6 and 7 tackles a game. So you're right. This is going to be a real test for a very, very, very young West Brunswick team.
And, Jay, specifically or particularly a test for the Trojan defense, and West is going to kick off to begin the game to Topsail, so that potent Topsail offense is going to take the field first after this game's opening kickoff, and we are off on the FOCUS Broadband TV Game of the Week. A high-angled kick fielded at the 10-yard line by Topsail. The return man's got a lot of room. That's Caden Wilson. He's got one man to beat. It's Hamrick. It's a foot race, and he's in, partner. Wow. Hamrick got him and tripped him up, but Wilson takes it to the house. The game's opening kickoff, a 90-yard return for a touchdown for the Pirates, and not the start you were looking for if you are a member of the Trojan faithful.
Yeah, clearly not. I just got finished saying this kid Wilson, who's the backup quarterback, can do a lot of different things offensively, and we didn't even talk about his ability to kick return, and you surely saw it there, going 90 yards for the score.
Boy, Jay, a deflating start for the home team. Again, West Brunswick comes into this game winless. They play a gauntlet of a non-conference schedule, have the conference opener tonight in front of their home crowd, and Topsail takes the game's opening kickoff and returns it 90 yards for a score. Extra point attempt is up and good. That's 85. Caden Robles, who knocked it in, and Jay, Wilson fielded it cleanly right on the 10-yard line, and I'm not sure he got touched.
I don't think he did either.
Well, until Hamrick almost tripped him up.
And that's a great effort by JoJo, and he does finally catch him, but not before he can stumble into the end zone. So you're right, Sam. What a blow for West Brunswick. The last thing they wanted to do was have the opening kickoff return for a score. So down 7 before their offense even gets a touch of the football.
And, Jay, when you're playing a team that's as explosive as Topsail is offensively, the last thing that you really need or want is to see them score on special teams or defense. It's hard enough to stop them when they got the ball in their hands.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, offense has been one of the critical issues for the Trojans thus far here in the new season. They're only scoring 11 points a game, but they're giving up 38. That is a formula for problems.
So now it's the Trojans' turn for the kickoff return team. Fair catch, signal for at the 26-yard line, where the Trojans will take over with a 1st and 10.
Might have been Garrett Powell fielding that kickoff, and I'm not sure Garrett was really trying to call for a fair catch. But be that as it may, that's what they ruled. So West takes over in good field position to start, but a lot of pressure on this relatively young West Brunswick squad. Now, they do have a senior starting at quarterback tonight. It's Tristan Williams, but he hasn't really got the most of the snaps. The freshman, and I'm sure we'll see him tonight, Josiah Borton, has received many of the snaps.
There's a speed sweep around the left side, and Topsail was all over it.
That's number 12, Walter Moore.
Good eyes, partner.
Remember, I said a lot of the kids on Topsail got 6-7 tackles a game. Well, Walter Moore, a junior, is one of them. 17 coming into this evening's game, and 2.5 tackles for a loss. And it'll be 3 now, or 3.5. And you saw the quickness exhibited that time by Moore.
So West Brunswick facing a 2nd and 13. That's Tristan Williams, who's going to fake the give and then hold on to it. Actually think he lost a half yard there, partner. So right out of the gates, West Brunswick loses yardage on his first 2 carries, and behind the chains, 3rd and 13 on their opening possession.
That was Josh McKay that time, only a 10th grader. There's a lot of youth on West Brunswick, but Topsail has some young players and playing very well here this evening. They came into this game with 23 tackles for losses in just 3 games.
Oh, tight end drag route, pass intended for number 16, Aiden Brown, but Williams was under pressure and threw it at the feet of Brown. It'll be incomplete, and that will bring on the Trojan punt team for the first time tonight.
Yeah, that was Josh McKay again putting pressure on quarterback Tristan Williams. So a very dominating first defensive possession by the Pirates this evening. So West is going to be kicking this ball from around. It's a bad snap. It's a bad snap. And the special team woes continue to plague West Brunswick here in the first quarter tonight.
A long snap over the head of JoJo Hamrick. He retrieves it, rolls out to his left, and tried to throw it away, but he was ruled out of bounds. So it's not even an incomplete pass. They ruled that he was out of bounds before he threw it at the 10-yard line. So opening kickoff return for a touchdown for Topsail, and then an errant snap on 4th down for West Brunswick results in a Topsail 1st and goal at the 10-yard line of the Trojans.
And that's Hebron at quarterback.
Wide receiver screen to the bottom of the field. That's Caden Wilson still fighting for yardage. He's finally stacked up at the 6-yard line. It's a gain of 4. We'll set up a 2nd and goal from the 6 for the Pirates.
Sam, we don't have sizes for Topsail. If we get them again this year, we should try to do that because they have some big kids out there. And that was number 77, Garrett Austin, 78, Thomas Bennett. Look at his size across that line. Number 60, Noah DeBrule. They're big up front.
They are big up front, 4 wide receivers, kind of in a tight bunched formation. Hebron rolls out to his right, looking for a man.
Wow.
Oh, very nearly intercepted. Jay, I was trying to get a number. If the man who batted it down didn't pick it off, I think another Trojan was right there ready for it. I just couldn't quite get a number.
Could have been. I was thinking it was 2-2. If it was, it's Hayden Bias, but he is a middle linebacker and certainly would have been in the vicinity of that ball.
I think it was Trey Evans.
Could have been Trey Evans, who's played awfully well this year as a 10th grader.
So 3rd and goal, they hand it to Wilson. Now he's going to roll
throw
out and try to throw, and it is caught in tight coverage. That was Bias on the coverage, but Wilson finds number 8, Ryder Wilcox, for a 6-yard Topsail touchdown to give the Pirates an early 13-0 lead.
Well, we said Wilson can do most anything offensively, and you saw his ability to throw on that play, and a nice catch by Ryder Wilcox, number 16 on the year for him, and his 2nd touchdown.
Man, Jay, and Hayden Bias, for the Trojans was right there. It was pretty good coverage. Wilson put it in a pretty tight window, and like you said, Wilcox made a nice snag to preserve that catch.
Take another look at it here. Wilson, no pressure, just has to find somebody open, and he zipped it in. You're right, good protection that time, or good coverage by Bias, but better throw and catch by Wilson.
So 9:27 left in the opening quarter. Jay, 2 minutes and 33 seconds in, and the Trojans find themselves in a 14-0 hole. Not the start that you had drawn up if you were Coach Handy, but if you're a member of the Trojan coaching staff, you know, tell them keep playing, keep playing. It's a long game.
It's a long game. And if you're going to be behind by 14, best you're behind with 9:27 to play in the opening quarter. Trojans need some kind of spark here, and the best way to do that is maybe on special teams.
That's a deep kick, fielded cleanly at the 5-yard line by the Trojans.
Woodard can go.
Woodard makes a good kick return of about 24 yards out to the 29-yard line. Jay, I do want to bring in ace sideline reporter Dr. Mike Maurer back with us this week. Mike, I want to go back to when Topsail had the ball. It seems that their splits on the offensive line were maybe I'd say wider than I'm used to seeing, at least in high school football. What's the thought process or the reasoning behind that?
So typically with wide splits, it's going to allow you kind of bigger holes, and that's you see that a lot more in kind of a spread run game. But for a passing attack, it actually allows you to kind of get the outside lineman further away from the quarterback.
Number 2, Jaquel Davis finds a seam for the Trojans. And, Jay, that's just the kind of spark West Brunswick needed. A 21-yard gain on 1st and 10, and the Trojans in business with a fresh set of downs at midfield.
Yeah, Sam, the Trojans have struggled thus far this season, but sophomore Jaquel Davis has not. He had nearly 350 yards rushing, averaging over 6 yards per carry coming into this evening's game.
He's going to get another carry. He's got a lane around the right side. Another good gain on 1st down. This time 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2, and we got a member of the Trojan dance team right in front of us, Miss Kylie Bird, and her dance team teammates selling 50-50 tickets. Jay, it's Jimmy Buffett night on campus today. So seen a lot of Hawaiian shirts and
may he rest in peace.
Yes,
right.
May he
still
rest
hard
in
to
peace.
believe. Yeah.
Tall sweep around the left side. A good block over there on the edge by the tight end. I think that was Aiden Brown made a nice block to get one Topsail defender out of the way. Davis carries it across the 40 to the 37-yard line, a gain of 5 yards, and another Trojan 1st down.
Yeah, Davis has got some quicks, that's for sure, and not afraid to hit that corner hard, and that's what he's done the last 2 of the 3 plays.
Williams drops back. He finds a man in the flats, and the receiver is dropped at the 35-yard line. So officially a gain of 2 yards, and that'll set up a 2nd and 8 as we're under the 8.5-minute mark here in the 1st quarter.
Sam, was that?
Was it Woodard or 6?
Looks like 6 Woodard, I guess. Yeah, it was.
Yep, Woodard.
talked about, young team, but Woodard's a senior.
Minimal yardage on that 2nd and 8 give. They'll give them the 28-yard line, so another 2-yard gain. That will set up a 3rd and 6 for West Brunswick. And, Jay, you got to think with the area they're at in the field, you're probably thinking 2 plays to get 6 yards here. Agreed?
I absolutely agree. They need some kind of a big play. If they can't pick it up here, maybe they can next. And that tackle was by Cameron Malfitano, a senior who's been all over the field early tonight. That's a good
he's
run.
Got a big lane there. That's
nice.
Jaquel Davis still on his feet. Inside the 20, inside the 15, knocked out at the 13-yard line. A gain of 24 yards and a Trojan first down. And, Jay, while I've never pretended to be an X's and O's expert, what I have seen early is when Davis touches it, good things are happening early on.
For sure. He's quick. But he's got a lot of great instincts. That time, kind of a little hesitation and a cut, and he throws it into another gear and runs away from you, and some good blocking at the point of attack. We'll have to get Mike to chime in on that in a sec.
This time they toss it to him around the left side,
that's
and
great defense.
No running room. He's dropped at the 16-yard line.
That's that kid Walter Moore again, Sam. That's the second really good defensive play he's made this evening, because Davis could have got around the edge there past him. He had a lot of green in front.
Jay, actually a ball marked down around the 17, so a loss of 3 yards, where it will be 2nd and 13, 6 minutes, 56 seconds left in the first quarter.
Topsail defense is big and quick.
There's another swing route. They got a plays inside the 10, inside the 5. It is a touchdown, number 8, Jude Surigao. 17 yards, Tristan Williams to Jude Surigao. And the Trojans with an excellent response midway through the first quarter. And, Jay, as bad of a start as it was to look up midway through the first, and it's 14-7, the deficit, you'll take that if you're Coach Andy and the Trojans.
Feels a lot better, not only for coaches but for fans too.
High snap, hold is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. JoJo Hamrick knocks it through, and with 6:43 left in the first quarter, West down 7, and Surigao catches it.
I've been waiting to talk about this kid, Surigao. Right, he is only a 10th grader. He's got a great bloodline as far as athletics are concerned. His dad played at North Carolina.
Yep.
And, he's going to have a really solid career here at West. Hey, by the way, great effort by Tristan Williams that time, bringing that high snap down and letting JoJo do his thing.
Yep, Jay, the principal difference between Jude Surigao and his dad, John, is about 130 pounds. John was an offensive tackle at North Carolina in the initial Mac Brown era. And John was college teammates with a guy that a lot of football fans name they'll recognize, Julius Peppers. He was in Chapel Hill when Julius Peppers was a freshman at Carolina. So they played together for a year or two.
And I guess his cousins playing basketball at UNCW.
Yep, another good athlete in the family. And the Trojans, Jay, they are going to kick it deep again, but they kick it away from Caden Wilson. Let's see if the Trojans can make a tackle on kickoff team this time. And they do from behind. And, Jay, I think Topsail may have to back it up a little bit. It was a good return by Smith. We saw a lot of good stuff from Smith, number 10 on Topsail in the Jamboree.
Yeah, and he's a little sore getting up, Sam.
Yeah, Jay got tackled from behind, and I don't know. It looked like maybe he got tackled and landed on the football, maybe, and the breath knocked out of him.
Well, as they figure that one out, take a look at the West Brunswick huddle. Let's get down on the field and see what Mike has to think about early on.
So what I was going to say is that was a great kind of drive by the West offense. Obviously, the first one kind of fizzled out pretty quickly. But in terms of the blocking that they're doing, they're shoring up their blocks pretty well, but the running back is just having great vision. I think all three of his longer runs were just 1-on-2, and he just saw the line and made the cut and hit the gap. On the touchdown, what I will say is it was great play calling because Topsail's been pretty aggressive. They're only bringing 4, but they're bringing an outside linebacker on one of the sides, kind of varying which side's coming. And on that play, they just kind of guessed right or read it right. And number 8 came on the outside on West's right-hand side, which then nobody to cover the flats. Perfect play call against that defense, right to the tight end, right to the house.
As always, excellent analysis from ace sideline reporter Dr. Mike Maurer. Jay, backing up a little bit, it was a hold on the kick return, a hold against Topsail. So instead of starting this possession around the 36, 37-yard line, the ball was backed up to the 19-yard line of the Pirates. So Hebron and this offense come on the field again. He kept it. He's going around the right side. West did a good job, really, kind of closing in on him. But with Hebron's athleticism, he was still able to pick up 5 yards out to the 24, where it'll be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, West did a pretty good job stringing that one out a little bit and kind of forcing number 7 Hebron to finally go a little bit north and south, and West made the stop. But, yeah, nice play, nice run by Hebron.
So 2nd and 5, ball's at the 24. Hebron keeps it again, but this time the Trojans were all over it. Drop him at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard, maybe 2. And there's going to be about a 3rd and a long 6, short 7 here. As we have reached the 5-minute, 40-second mark of the first quarter. And, Jay, I was thinking about this down on the field earlier. How cool is it for all these young people to be here tonight and wearing their jerseys? And had a couple kids ask me earlier, will we get to play here one day? Right before this 3rd down snap. They got a man in the seam. He's open, makes the grab. It was a nice hit by Woodard, almost jarred the ball loose, but Cameron Kohler was able to hang on to it and gain enough first down yardage for Topsail. But, Jay, a lot of young folks here and a lot of young kids really excited to come watch these high school kids play tonight.
Yeah, and maybe one of them will grow up and be able to throw the ball as well as Hebron did on that particular play.
Got a man in the flats, wide open. Then makes a man miss. He's all the way inside the Trojan 45 to the 43-yard line, a gain of about 15 yards, and another Topsail first down.
That was Wolfenbarger on the reception that time. And, Sam, one of our favorite descriptions for good all-around players is a Swiss Army knife, and that's what John is, offensively, defensively. He's just a really, really helpful football player.
So 1st and 10 for Topsail. Hebron hands it off to Wolfenbarger, right through the teeth of the Trojan D. Finally dropped down around the 16-yard line, a gain of 26 yards. And the Pirates now in business, a 1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line of the Trojans.
Sam, that was pretty wide open on the interior of the line that time. Some of the guys from Topsail obviously got off good with their blocks, and then Wolfenbarger did the rest. But really, really strong running play by Topsail.
So 1st and 10 at the 16 for the Pirates. Hebron rolls out to his left, fakes the pitch, stays on his feet, and scores easily. Jay, they do have a flag in the backfield.
Hopefully for West, it's against Topsail, because that one, that was a pretty easy run by the quarterback, Hebron. Looks like maybe it is going to go against the Pirates of Topsail.
It is a holding penalty against Topsail, so the touchdown comes off the board. And the Trojans live to see another day, partner.
Guys, on that long run, you guys were talking about the blocking and how wide open that hole was. That was the big Mack truck, number 78, came through on a counter block and just cleared everything out.
That's it, guy Thomas Bennett. We know he's a senior. We know he's in the offensive line, and we know he is big.
Hebron rolls out to his right, got a man. That was Wilcox over on the sideline. Jay, he made the grab, but when he went to make a move, he stepped out of bounds at the 21-yard line, so picked up about 4 yards. But Topsail still behind the chains a bit with a 2nd and 14 from the 21-yard line. Topsail needs the 7 of West Brunswick for first down yardage.
Yeah, I like that play that time. O'Day cleared out the area and let number 8, Wilcox, get the catch.
Hebron under heavy pressure, rolls out to his left, looking for anyone to throw it to, outruns a defender to the sideline, hops out of bounds at the 17-yard line. So he picks up 4 yards, and it will be about a 3rd and 10 or a 3rd and long 9 for the Pirates.
Eli's pretty dangerous. We know he can throw, but pretty dangerous running the football, and shows some great composure that time. Kind of picking and poking his way through to pick up 4 yards instead of a loss.
Pretty good job on the last 2 plays defensively from West Brunswick. There's a screen to Wolfenbarger, and West Brunswick was all over it. Jay, that looked like one of those instances where West was in the huddle with the play call. I mean, they defended that screen to perfection on 3rd and 10. Even if Hebron had completed that to Wolfenbarger, West Brunswick's number 32, Javante Daniels, the junior defensive lineman, was right there to bring him down. That's going to bring on Caden Robles, the Topsail place kicker. So the Pirates are going to attempt a field goal here. It'll be a 34-yard attempt with 3:40 left in the first quarter. Good snap, good hold. Robles' kick is up. It's off the upright and no good. So the Trojan defense holds strong, forces Topsail into a field goal attempt. Robles strikes the upright, and it takes a Trojan bounce back into the end zone, so the field goal is no good. And Jay, 15 minutes ago in real time, if I'd have told you West's going to get the ball back late in the first quarter, only down 7, may have been a little surprising, because it was as bad a start as you can possibly have for West Brunswick.
Well, like we mentioned, Sam, if you're going to be down 14, best to do it with nearly 10 minutes to play in the first quarter. By the way, on that pass, that the screen pass that got blown up, 71, Josiah Sneed, defensive lineman for West, and only a 10th grader, much involved on that play.
Asher Herring on the pop pass around the left side, and he got laid out there at the 15-yard line, lost 4 or 5 yards. And, Jay, not much going on that little pop pass attempt to Asher.
That tackle again, Walter Moore, who is a junior inside linebacker, came into this game with 17 total tackles. That's at least 3 or 4 he's made already here in the first quarter. He has been all over the field defensively.
Yes, having himself a night. Man in motion again for the Trojans.
Oh. Wow.
Somebody missed a block over on the right side and kind of left Davis out for dead there. He had no chance there as Topsail swarmed to the football. That's another loss of about 3 yards, and Jay, suddenly West Brunswick looking at about a 3rd and 19.
Yeah, I think that was number 8, Wilcox, who kind of set himself there and just refused to let the running back get around him, and wow, vicious tackle.
Jay, West Brunswick just caught about the luckiest break that you could ever have. Thomas Biscardi, the defensive lineman for Topsail, had about the easiest chance for a pick 6 as you could ever have as West tried the throwback screen. And Biscardi just dropped it. He just stone cold dropped it, and the Trojans at least we'll have a chance to punt this one away instead of being down 21-7.
Oh, Hamrick's going to have to really give this one a boot.
Pretty good kick.
He gets a bounce.
It does take a Trojan bounce.
And the sweepers.
And
the sweepers.
Man, Jay, what is that?
It's curling.
Curling.
It's curling.
Thank you.
It's a Canadian Football League.
Yep. So, Jay, that punt, that's 35 and another 11. A 46-yard punt by Hamrick is just what the doctor ordered for West Brunswick. At least got it on the other side of midfield. So Topsail will take over 1st and 10 at its own 39-yard line after forcing a 3-and-out on the Trojans.
Well, let's see what West can dial up here defensively. Wow. 3 receivers on the top of your screen, 1 at the bottom. Looks like they might want to throw.
Swing route out to Wolfenbarg. Jay, oh, no, I think they got him maybe for a roughing the passer.
Well, if they did, that's not going to help West Brunswick's fortunes.
Yep, personal foul, roughing the passer against the Trojans. And Jay, West defended the play well, held him to about a 3-yard gain. Well, it turns into an 18-yard gain after the late hit on the quarterback.
Yep. Penalties and mistakes. Mike, seeing anything down there?
What I'm seeing, if you're the West defense, you got to kind of be a little excited, right? So they were given super short field, held them to a long 3rd down, ended up giving up the touchdown, the second touchdown with really good coverage. Then they come down, bend don't break, get a turnover. That's really disappointing to see the personal foul there because I think the West defense is kind of excited and playing well.
Hebron drops back. It's a screen again to Wolfenbarger. West trying to track him down from behind. They do. It was a nice individual effort by Isaiah Fullwood, the senior defensive lineman. But Wolfenbarger picked up about 7 yards before he was brought down. That'll set up a 2nd and 3. Ball is at the Trojan 37-yard line. Topsail needs the 34 for a 1st down.
Isaiah Fullwood, the guy with the tackle that time. 11 totals coming in, 4 tackles for a loss. He's one of the veterans on this team, and he brings some size as well at 5'10", 225 pounds.
2nd and 3 for the Pirates. They fake the handoff one way and come back the other, and the Trojans were all over it. Fullwood and Hayden Bias were there for the tackle. And, Jay, it went from 2nd and 3 to 3rd and 9 real quick with that tackle for loss.
Well, I tell you what, we talked a little about Topsail's quickness on defense, but you saw some of that from West Brunswick that time. Great effort up front by Bias and Fullwood.
Man, that's back-to-back plays by Isaiah Fullwood, 51, the defensive lineman. He chased down Wolfenbarger on the previous play and then has a big tackle for loss the very next one. Hebron rolls out. Now he's being chased down, makes one man miss, eludes the pressure, and scrambles for a 1st down.
Holy cow.
Man, had him dead to rights, it looked like, and he just Jay, I'm going to steal one from you. Made chicken soup out of chicken feathers, right? Did I get that one right?
You got it. And thank you for using the clean version of that expression. But number 71, Josiah Sneed, again, putting pressure. And I think it may have been number 6, Caden Wilson, with a great block.
Surprise, surprise, right?
Yeah.
He does so many things well for Topsail.
And then that let the play continue, and of course the subsequent 1st down.
0.6 seconds left in the 1st quarter.
Coach Tichy calling the timeout.
Yeah, I think Topsail wants a timeout to talk this one over. It'll be well, Jay, unless it's the fastest play in football history, it'll be the last play of the 1st quarter, right?
I think there's a good chance of that being true, Mr. Sam.
So, Jay, a lot going on, a lot of activity in this 1st quarter, but a perfect start for Topsail. You take the opening kickoff, return it for a touchdown, Then you capitalize with a touchdown after an errant West Brunswick snap on the punt team. So you're up 14-0, but West Brunswick has found a way to claw their way back into this one.
Well, they did it, but look, if we're being honest, they had a little bit of help. One, a field goal that hits the upright. Two, almost a handoff interception that was dropped at about the 5-yard line, which, of course, both of those plays would have resulted in all likelihood, 10 more points. So we could be easily looking at a 24-7 game as opposed to 14-7.
So after the timeout, Topsail has a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line of West Brunswick. Everybody's set. Hebron flings it out wide to Smith.
Got a flag down, Mr. Hickman.
Yeah, flag was down. An illegal shift of some kind, a false start against Topsail. So that will make it 1st and 15 from the 36-yard line. My question is, Jay, can you end the quarter on a penalty?
Well,
I don't think so.
I
think they got to run a play and untime down, I think.
They are.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have to. It's an untime down here.
Yeah, I don't think a quarter can end on a penalty.
Yep, so the scoreboard back to 0.6 seconds left. So we are still in the first quarter. 1st and 15 for Topsail.
Pressure.
Hebron rolls out. He eludes pressure, flings it to Wilson down the left side, and Wilson couldn't come up with it. Good individual effort by Hebron and Wilson. And Jay, now we're at the end of the first quarter on your FOCUS Broadband TV Game of the Week. Topsail 14, West Brunswick 7. We'll be right back for the start of the second. And we're back for the start of the second quarter on the FOCUS Broadband TV Game of the Week. Topsail facing a 2nd and 15. Ball is at the 36-yard line of the Trojans. This will be the first play of the second quarter. Hebron throws a quick slant. He's got his man. And Smith brought down by Garrett Powell at the 20-yard line, a gain of 16 yards and a Topsail first down. And Jay Smith, number 10 for Topsail, the young receiver, just a 10th grader. I remember us raving about him during the Bash at the Beach football jamboree. He's going to catch a lot of passes in his time at Topsail.
Yeah, he looks awfully smooth out there for just a 10th grader. You know, Hebron's only a junior, so.
Man, Hebron just made a one-handed catch on that snap. Even though he lost 4 yards, he did good not to fumble the football. Isaiah Fullwood, Jay, that is his 3rd tackle for loss in the first half. He's coming off the field right now, maybe to get a breather, but it'll be 2nd and 14 for Topsail after Hebron lost 4 yards on the quarterback keeper there.
Fullwood's doing a great job of kind of keeping West in this game defensively. Dangerous team, though.
So 2nd and 14, ball's at the 24-yard line. Topsail 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Hebron drops back, can't make them miss this time. It is a sack by the Trojan defense. Jay, I think it was 68. Jamal Marlowe was the first man there, and then I think 40.
There were a couple involved, but seems like after about midway through the first quarter, West defensively has figured out a way to apply some pressure.
I think it was Harrison Doherty who kind of cleaned him up there. There's a deep ball to Smith. Oh, and it's just over the outstretched arm of number 10, Demarion Smith, and incomplete. So, Jay, here's an interesting one. You've got 4th and 21 with the ball at the 31-yard line. Do you just leave the offense on the field and let them take a shot?
Yeah, I think so. And that looks precisely what Coach Tichy is doing.
I mean, Jay, because if you don't get it, I mean, worst case scenario, West takes over and they've only got the ball at their own 31, or maybe you pick up 15 yards here and still don't get it, and then West would have terrible starting field position. So I think going for it, even on a 4th and 21, makes a lot of sense here.
Sam, I was trying to figure out who was defending on that. Was it Garrett Powell?
Yep.
Did a nice job that time of staying close to that receiver and getting around him and not getting on him, right? So nice effort by Garrett that time. Senior. Kid's paid his dues here.
He's just a junior.
Powell's a junior?
Just a junior.
I was wrong then. That's great. We got another year. Or West has another year.
And, Jay, you know, another factor on that 3rd down pass play, I think Hebron had to throw it a touch sooner than he wanted to because West had some serious pressure. Had some guy at his feet and another couple more in his face as he let that ball fly.
Looks like they're getting some, some stunts, some blitzes, some help from the linebackers, and it has an effect. Jumping in, jumping out.
4th and 21. He's got Wilcox. Oh, man. What? Oh, no.
It's going to be against.
Man, oh, man.
It's a Woodard. And that's a close one.
And it was a defensive pass interference penalty against the Trojans. And I got to tell you, I thought the coverage was about perfect.
Yeah.
I would agree with you, Sam. I was right here.
Yeah, if you live in Charlotte, you have one view. If you live in Hampstead, it might be another view, right? But
yep. And Jay, here's the thing, though: high school football is just a 15-yard penalty.
It's not an automatic.
Yeah, it was 4th and 21. So of course, a 4th and 5 is much easier to convert if your tops or the percentages are much better of you converting it. But the Trojans still have a chance to force a turnover on downs.
Well, they do. Or the other thing is, Topsail, if they wanted to, could probably kick a field goal from here, or at least attempt it. Roble seems to have a strong foot, but I think they're going to stay on the field offensively.
One thing to look at, guys, West is having the best defensive plays when they're bringing the house. They're bringing 5 or 6 regularly. That's when they're having their success. Anytime they only bring 4, they're getting kind of chewed up.
That's what it looked like, Mike. There was extra black shirts coming in.
So 4th and 7 here for Topsail. Hebron rolls out to his right, looking for someone to throw to. He's got no room, and the Trojans sack him, bring him down on 4th down. And turns out it's going to be Trojan football either way. Big time stop on 4th down for the Trojans, and the Trojan offense will come back onto the field after the big sack of Hebron on 4th down.
Yeah, and that was Jabari Cumby, I believe, with that sack. And again, another 10th grader, right? Can you imagine how these kids are going to be in a couple of years? So many young players in the game for West Brunswick, and they're all showing up well here this evening.
Oh, fumble. No, he threw it forward, partner.
I don't know.
He threw it.
No, I don't think so, Sam.
Big Mike, did you get a better look at that than I did? I thought they were trying that pop pass forward and it hit the ground, which I thought was a incomplete pass, but I did not have good eyes on it.
It's a touchy question, right? Because it did look like an underhanded toss to the running back who was coming in, like he was supposed to grab and he forgot, so the quarterback tried to push it back to him. I would call that a pass, but it's so close because if you're not there and there's no replay, you're not going to be able to make that call.
Man, thank goodness for a sideline reporter because it looked busted up. Could definitely tell something was not smooth about it from up here, but nice. Man, nice play.
Who is that?
Trey Evans made a very nice play from his safety position. I tell you, he's had a really good start to this season.
Yeah, I like the way they gave credit to Powell for the tackle, but
I'm pretty certain that was Evans. Yep, that was Evans from his safety spot.
Evans, as Sam mentioned, another one of the young players on this team. Trey, 8 total tackles before tonight.
Hebron rolls out. Now he's scrambling around to the right side, looking for any kind of running room. Finally run out of bounds. Jay maybe picked up a couple yards to the 19-yard line, but Mike, I think you expertly pointed out a few moments ago, this West Brunswick defense has been up to the challenge.
Yeah, so when you face a team who primarily passes it, which Topsail's been doing this year a lot, is you got to bring pressure, and especially at this level, you can just pin your ears back and go. And again, that's why West is having the most success when they bring 5 or 6, and they've started doing it a lot.
Of course, the risk is if he can evade that wave of pressure, there's going to be some openings behind.
Wolfenbarger on the 3rd down carry is dropped at the 16-yard line. So Topsail 5 yards shy of the line to gain. And let's see what Coach Teachy wants to do on this 4th and medium situation.
For first time they've actually just done a straight run
right
handoff in a long time. So as Mike was pointing out, this team likes to pass.
4th and a long 5 here. Topsail needs the 11. They pitch it out to Wolfenbarger, and they got a play, partner. Wolfenbarger still on his feet after a missed tackle, and it is a touchdown from 16 yards out. John Wolfenbarger races in on the speed option play, and the Pirates have taken a 20-7 lead, 8:14 left before halftime here on your Focus Broadband TV Game of the Week.
Sam, you hear the expression "so close but so far," and that was very close to being tackled in the backfield, but he wasn't, and then Wolfenbarger did the rest.
Yeah, guys, on that's how you beat 6-man rush. You just got to hope that they make a little bit of mistake. The defensive end or the outside linebacker has outside responsibility, and he just came in too tight trying to go for the quarterback, and then that's where they get that quick pitch, and he's wide open.
Here's a replay of that. You can see right there the Trojans had a chance to tackle him shy of the line to gain. Missed the tackle. Wolfenbarger races in, and Topsail has a 2-touchdown lead with 8:14 left before halftime. And Mike, Jay, it's interesting. The 2 touchdowns that Topsail has scored offensively, each of those drives started inside West Brunswick's 20-yard line.
Well, field position's important, right? It's tough going 70, 80 yards, and it can be tough going 20, but certainly this evening Topsail's shown an ability to do that and do it quite well. Man, Robles has got a foot.
Yes, he does. That one bounces at the 1-yard line and across the goal line for a touchback. 8:14 left before the halftime break, and West Brunswick will start this drive at their own 20-yard line.
I was talking to Dr. Mike before the game, and we were going over a few, players and numbers and stuff. And I said, I couldn't find any kicking statistics on Max Prep, which is the go-to for all the data points. And we were saying, well, gosh, maybe they go for 2. Nah, I don't think so. This kid, Rope Lace, has got a great foot. I think it was just a mistake in Max Prep.
Here's Jaquel Davis around the right side. Jay is coming back.
Yeah. Sam, I'm wondering now, almost midway through the second quarter, we have not seen freshman quarterback Josiah Borton for West Brunswick here this evening.
Jay, after a cursory glance, I don't see him on the sideline. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. He's on the other end.
Number 1,
other end down here.
Is he dressed?
He is.
Okay. Well, I know he's gotten a lot of reps, as a 9th grader, and has shown some glimpses of what he eventually will be.
That pass complete out to the right side. The Trojan receiver wrestled out of bounds.
No, it was not. 2.
That was JoJo Hamrick.
21, Boylan with the tackle. That was close to 22, Wolfenbarger.
So, Jay, it picked up 5 yards, but after the holding penalty on the first play of the drive, it's still 2nd and 15 for the Trojans. Got a man in motion. Williams drops back, floats a pass down the field, had him wide open. It was Jude Surregal streaking alone down the middle of the field. And Williams just couldn't quite connect with them. And, boy, Surregal he might still be running had Williams put that one in his lap.
Pretty sure he would. And, boy, let's give some credit to the West offensive coaching staff, and particularly on that call. It was there. They saw it. They just didn't execute.
So 3rd and 15 for West Brunswick. The ball at the 15. It's Herring in motion. Williams is going to take off and run with it. He's still on his feet. He's going to be about 4 yards shy of the line to gain to set up about a 4th and 4. Williams needed the West Brunswick 30-yard line for a first down. And Big Mike, I know we've had this conversation before. It can be really exhausting on a defense when you feel like you're back out there, after 3 plays and you're right back on the field.
Yeah, it's definitely exhausting both physically and mentally. The defense overall is playing well, right? So they've given up 2 touchdowns, but they were short yardage touchdowns because of things that weren't there doing.
Well, JoJo got that one, Sam. Holy moly. And there's the curling move, but man,
the curling move works to perfection again for the Trojans. Hamrick, Jay, let's see. He got to it was snapped from the 30, so that's a 42-yard punt, and they do back up Topsail inside the Pirates' 30-yard line. Topsail 21, West Brunswick 7. 7 minutes left before halftime here in Charlotte.
Tell you, 3 touchdown margin. The Trojans need to come up big here defensively on this series and not allow the Pirates to make it a 4-score game. 3-score game, I guess.
Hebron fakes the handoff, keeps it around the left side. Pretty well defended by West Brunswick, but Hebron was able to pick up, still picked up about 4 or 5 yards, partner.
Yeah, he's, I think there was a song one time, Sam, like, he's a smooth operator. and
that's how we feel about Hebron.
I kind of think Hebron may be one of them smooth operators, right? He just has a smoothness about him and seems to come up with positive plays regardless of the situation.
Jay, he's awfully poised back there. Just doesn't seem to be rattled by too much. He rolls out to his right. Some Trojan defenders in hot pursuit. Rifles a pass over to Wilcox, and it's off of Wilcox's hand and falls incomplete. It'll be a 3rd and long 5 for the Pirates.
Hayden Bias, along with a host of secondary defenders for West that time, did a great job of just not letting any Pirate receiver get open. Big 3rd down now for the Trojans. They can hold them here. They get the ball back. Plenty of time to do something offensively.
Still 6 minutes and 13 seconds left. See, Hebron made a man miss on the quarterback draw across the 40, and it is a 1st down. Then we got some extracurricular activity going on after the play.
Yeah,
and Jay, I think they may get the Trojans for a personal foul on top of it.
It was way, way, way away from the play. Hebron don't need a lot of help, right? So let's see how the officials call it.
Dead ball, personal foul against the Trojans. Nothing offsetting about it, so it's all against West Brunswick, and that will take it from about the 42 across midfield.
So they walked that off from the point of the foul?
From the end of the run.
Oh, from the end of the run,
yep,
okay.
From the end of the run, they'll tack on 15, and that will move it to the 43-yard line of the Trojans.
So what a great situation potentially West had that time. Hebron picked up the 1st down, but the penalty sure hurts. There he goes again, Sam.
Flag, Jay Bird.
Probably
I
holding.
believe this one may be coming back.
Tell you what, in that vicinity where you might think West is going to get some help, let's see.
It's in the area of holding.
Yeah, don't take away the athleticism of Hebron, though, and his speed that time.
Great individual effort, but a hold against the Pirates will take another Topsail touchdown off the board. So the Trojans dodge a bullet there with 5:43 left before halftime.
Yeah, West needed a little help, a break, and they certainly got it there because that was 6 for Topsail. Mike, a lot of walking forward and backward down there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're the tired defense, you're not opposed to it, right? I mean, you're upset that your guy made the penalty earlier, but, yeah, you're never opposed to a little bit of slowing it down.
Great, great, great observation by the doctor.
Chance to catch your breath a bit. And as many snaps as the West defense has played in this half, I think Dr. Mike is onto something. They'll take a breather. Hebron fakes the handoff. Got a man across the middle of the field. Ryder Wilcox still on his feet. But a good recovery there by 7, Timothy Collis Miller, the junior defensive back. Missed him initially, but then recovered nicely and brought him to the ground.
See, you mentioned earlier, Sam, about Hebron's poise. And you really saw it in evidence there. He had some pressure, but just kind of calmly took his time and found his receiver and put it right between the numbers.
Second and 7. West brings pressure again. They lost him.
Ooh. Wow.
And that was Wilson down the left sideline, just all alone.
Sam, there is not a black shirt within 20 yards of the potential receiver that time. So, again, the Trojans catch a break. Hebron makes a mistake there.
Yeah, Jay, that was a classic case of busted coverage. I thought you had him. And turns out nobody did.
Well,
and before the 3rd and 8 play, West Brunswick wants to talk that over.
Yeah,
don't
exactly. Yeah, we're going to make sure we straighten out who has what, when, and where.
So, Jay Bird, I couldn't I couldn't go a whole half without bringing it up, but your beloved baseball team's in the middle of a big series. I'm going to ask. It was a 2-game lead before tonight, or before last night. Tampa Bay wins the first game of the series. Are you nervous yet?
Bunch of bums. Bunch of bums. I've got no time for them.
Now, Jay is in
done.
full-fledged high school
They're
football
done.
mode.
I predicted this whole thing. They messed around, lose 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals. And Tampa just, man, they are just so daggone tough.
Solid.
They come in here and they're down 4 and they're down 3 and now they're down 1 and they still got, I can't even look. I turned it off last night.
Well,
I couldn't
I bet
watch
you
it.
slept better.
Yeah, probably.
So 3rd and 8 for Topsail. Another one-handed catch on the snap. It's going to be a 3rd and 13 now, as a false start penalty will move the ball backwards.
Mountcastle swings and pops his shoulder out. Gee, many Christmas. Nah, it's a great series, and hopefully the O's can kind of hang in there. But Tampa Bay is tough.
But really nice to be playing some meaningful baseball
Absolutely.
in mid-September, isn't it?
It sure is, and so many special young players on this year's edition of the Orioles.
And the 3rd and 13 for Topsail. Hebron rolls out, throws a deep one over there. It was caught. Was he inbounds? Incomplete.
Out of bounds.
Oh,
Wow.
man, what an incredible individual effort by Demarion Smith. And that forces the Pirates into a 4th and 13. And, Jay, if I'm not mistaken, this will be our first look at the Topsail punt team, no?
They have not had to punt yet this evening. It's inside the 50. I don't think they'll fake it, but would be a place where maybe you'd think about it. I think they'll just try to pin them back, make them go to the length of the field.
Perfect snap. That's Hebron on the punt. Oh, Collis Miller fielded it cleanly and had a nice return. Probably saved the Trojans about 15 yards or so in field position, maybe more, depending on where it came to a stop. Timothy, the son of Paul Miller, who is assistant GM for the Topsail Pirates, partner.
Well, let me tell you, Tim did a good job that time. It's
Sure
always
did.
kind of dangerous when that ball's just kind of hopping around like that. And do you grab it, do you not? But Tim did the right thing that time. And as you pointed out, Sam, probably gave an extra 10, 15 yards to West on this series to start.
So a 1st and 10 for West Brunswick at its own 24-yard line. Pump fake. Williams throws it deep and very nearly picked off by Caden Wilson. And, Jay, let me tell you,
That's the best
JoJo Hamrick.
That's the best pass defense you'll see tonight.
Yep, JoJo Hamrick did a really fine job turning into a defensive back there and just making sure nobody caught that pass. But it was well defended by Caden Wilson.
Sure
he was step for step with Hamrick down the near sideline.
Great coverage and a not a terrible delivery that time by Williams. They've sort of gotten away from the running attack, haven't they, Sam? And maybe that's why.
Davis did real good to pick up a yard there across the 25 to the 26-yard line. But again, the Trojans faced with a 3rd and long situation. It'll be 3rd and 8 at the 26-yard line.
Wow. You folks did not hear that. I will let Sam pass it on.
Man, I almost want to check that for accuracy or something. Man,
holy
Hoggard
moly.
leading North Brunswick at halftime, 42-0.
That's a running clock already.
Did North forget to go to the game?
Pass intended for Asher Herring over near the Topsail sideline. It was broken up by number 11, Mason Sheehan, and Herring was right there across the line to gain. Would have been a surefire first down, but Sheehan cut under it and deflected it. And the incomplete pass will force the Trojans into another obvious punting
Well,
situation.
Sam and Mike, you can never be shocked, I guess, when you hear Hogger winning a football game, but not this year's North team and not by 42 points.
Another good kick by Hamrick, and it takes another good West Brunswick bounce, and they force Caden Wilson out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And, Jay, after the errant snap on the first punt attempt, the Trojan punt team has really had 3 or 4 good ones in a row here in the first and second
Sure
quarters.
have, yeah. JoJo making a case for all-league punter here this evening because he has been extremely consistent. 40, 45, 48 yards, that's a big game-changing effort by Hamrick.
Oh, nice play. Man, the backside, one of the backside defensive linemen, God, that was Marlowe, Jamal Marlowe, and 41, Harrison Doherty were right there to bring Hebron down. He actually lost 2 yards on that play, setting up a 2nd and 12.
Well, that was
a
little slow developing that time for
Topsail,
but credit the West defense. They kept on going and resulted in a tackle for loss.
And Jay, that one there had a funny look to it, and
let him
Hebron just has a way of making plays. It looked like West Brunswick had a half dozen guys there who could have made that play but couldn't bring them down. Boy, Big Mike, I don't know if you could see that develop down there on the field, but that was a funny-looking play. Looked like some Topsail offensive players got their wires crossed, and Hebron just turned it into a 12-yard run anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't watching that per se, but I was watching West continue to bring 5 guys, and they just didn't converge, right? They had him back there, but this quarterback's doing a great job of just scrambling for something, and in that case, a lot.
Yeah, Eli Hebron is going to sleep well tonight, folks. He is probably logged 40 miles running the ball. Wolfenbarger, just a missed tackle. And he picked up about 3 extra yards after the initial missed tackle.
Yeah, there's been some examples of really phenomenal tackling tonight by the Trojans, particularly that front 4. And, as Mike has been telling us, 2 or 3 other guys coming in, but been a few other plays where they've had a Topsail ball carrier and having a hard time bringing them down.
So 2:05 left before halftime, false start. That was going to be a false start against Topsail. So, Jay, there goes the 5 yards that they gained on first down. It'll be a 2nd and 10. The ball will be at midfield. Big Mike has, even after the terrible start by West Brunswick, it's a 2-touchdown deficit, sure, but this one doesn't feel, terribly one-sided. It feels like the Trojans are certainly capable of competing with this team, just struggling to put together any offense right now.
Absolutely. The defense is keeping them in the game, though they've been on the field a long time, but the offense just hasn't quite been able to get it going.
Wow.
Hebron rolls out to his left, finds Smith down the field. He makes the grab and picks up about 18 yards to the 32-yard line in a Topsail first down.
What a great throw that time by Hebron. It's really hard if you're a right-handed quarterback to run to your left, square up, and deliver. And that's exactly what Hebron did that time to Smith. And pass was just perfectly thrown, and another big play by the quarterback, Eli Hebron.
Very Jay Combs-esque.
No.
Hebron again rolling out, just looking for anyone. Oh, Smith got behind the defense.
Wow.
Demarion Smith got behind the defense for a 32-yard touchdown. Pitch and catch from Hebron to Smith, and with 1:35 left before the halftime break, the Pirates have taken a 27-7 lead over the West Brunswick Trojans.
Yeah, and credit, once again, credit Eli Hebron with just having great vision downfield, not losing his composure, searching, and then he finds a wide open number 10, Demarion Smith, for the score. Blocked it.
A blocked extra point.
Who got
Couldn't
that?
tell who got in there and got it. Was it Evans, 20? Oh, I couldn't quite tell.
Well,
we're getting another look at the touchdown. Hebron rolled out to his right. Smith got behind the defense all alone. 32-yard pitch and catch. Pirate touchdown. The lead stays at 27-7 after the blocked extra point.
yeah, I don't know who got it for West. It could have been Evans. There were two players around the kicking or the placement of the ball, but whoever it was or whoever they were did a phenomenal job and blocked the extra point.
So, Jay Bird, a minute and a half left before halftime. West Brunswick does get the ball to start the second half. So, if you're a Trojan coach, player, fan, you're thinking maybe we could score here after halftime and pull close again. Garrett Powell scoots up and alertly falls on the football at the 35-yard line. So West will get pretty good starting field position on this possession. No time went off the clock. So, Jay, how aggressive do you want to get here if you're Coach Handy and the Trojans right before the break?
Well, I think, look, you're 0-3, you're down 20, and you're still in the first half. You need some big plays, and if that means you got to be a little more aggressive to do that, then so be it. Now, there's the freshman quarterback in the game, and that is disaster.
Pick six, number 8, Ryder Wilcox.
Wow.
Read the young quarterback like a book, picked him off, took it to the house. And, Jay, there's going to be a ton of fine moments in Josiah Borton's West Brunswick football career. That will be one that he'll like to forget.
Well, yep. Sometimes when you draw them up, they don't come out quite the way that you expected. Obviously, the freshman that time just did not see that defender.
Robles kick is up. It is good, and the lead is 34-7. Jay, here's another look. Borton had some pressure.
Well, he did
tried
have some
to throw
pressure,
the swing
yeah.
route, and Wilcox picked it off and took it to the house.
Yeah, he a good call on that, Sam. He did have some pressure, and that didn't help for sure. But just a pass that Josiah would like to have back. Of course, Coach Hamby would too. So
1:25 left before the break, and Jay Topsail had other ideas. West thinking about going down there and closing the gap before the first half. Well, Topsail extends its 20-point lead to 27 with a pick six.
Well,
so
two of the scores tonight, special teams score on that 90-yard kickoff return, and then of course the INT pick six. So 14 points, the result of your defense and your special teams.
Robles on to kick for Topsail. It's a short kick. Powell. Oh, West better fall on it. And they do at the 25-yard line. So that's 2 times in a row Topsail's employed kind of that diagonal squib kick, and West has just had to fall on it both times.
I think they've seen, what number 2, Jaquel Davis can do, and they don't want to give him the ball in a position where he could go 90 on a kickoff return. But
can't say I blame him there, partner.
No, I cannot.
So now Tristan Williams back in at quarterback for the Trojans. 1:25 left before halftime. A little indecisive there, Jay Bird. He rolled out, couldn't find anybody open down the field, and so he hung on to it maybe just a little bit too late, and Topsail got there and brought him down for a sack. Only lost a yard or so on the play as the game clock has ticked under the 1 minute mark here in the first half. Topsail leads 34-7.
That was Walter Moore again. Defensively for Topsail, and it is not easy to bring down Tristan Williams. You notice he plays quarterback and linebacker, 205 pounds. He's a big kid.
West going to toss it out around the left side to Jaquel Davis. He scoots out of bounds at the 35-yard line, gained 11 yards, and Jay, I think just enough for the first down yardage.
Well, he being William, Jaquel, was that Davis that time? Or
Yep,
yeah,
2.
He's kind of been the sole spark offensively here this evening for West, even though they have scored 1 touchdown. But
High.
ooh,
Pass intended for, I think that was Woodard, the intended receiver. Just a little too high. And Jay, it's probably a good thing Woodard got up there and got a hand on it, because Topsail had 2 guys look like they were ready to pick it off.
well, looked like a bunch of Trojans were going on the field, and now a bunch of Trojans are coming back, and now they're all coming back, Sam.
Yeah, it looked like they were jogging off, maybe thinking that was 3rd down or something, and the punt team would be coming on, but
The refs were a little late to call it a first down, so I think the special teams coach had already gathered his guys to get them ready to go after the next play.
aha. Big Mike all over it down there on the field. So 29 seconds left before halftime. West Brunswick faces a 2nd and 10. The ball is at the 35-yard line of the Trojans. If you're just joining us, Topsail returned the game's opening kickoff for a touchdown. West Brunswick got the ball, went 3 and out. There was an errant long snap on the punt attempt that West tracked down and ran out of bounds at their own 10-yard line. Topsail turned that into a touchdown. So it's 14-0, a little more than 2 minutes into the game. Jay, West then put together a nice drive to pull within 7, but really this second quarter has been all Pirates.
Well, West would be best served now to get that 29.2 seconds off the scoreboard and kind of catch your breath.
Pass down the middle of the field, caught by Surigao. Man, makes a really nice grab in traffic.
That's a wonderful catch by Jude.
Yes, it
Kid's
was.
gonna be a player, Sam. Gonna be a player.
Coach Handy encouraging his guys to get on the ball. And, Jay, this is a lot of time going off the clock. Lot of time going off the clock. Game clock all the way down to about 10 seconds now. Now it's snapped. Williams going to take a deep shot. He's got a man and just overthrew him. So West Brunswick had a play there. 4 seconds left before the halftime break. And, man, Jay, if he could have just put maybe a touch more air under that one, it was Tyreek Woodard who was the receiver streaking down the field. And we are going to get a Topsail timeout before this, what is likely the final snap of the first half here from M.H. Rourke Stadium.
Mike, why would Topsail take a timeout with 4.1?
Probably just to kind of set up a super coverage defense where they don't get beat deep. They might only bring a couple linemen. The whole goal is don't let them get in the end zone.
Yeah, don't let anybody get behind you like they did with Woodard that time. If, as Sam said, little more touch on that. That was 6 for the Trojans.
Yeah, Woodard was certainly open. He ran right by the Topsail defense there.
And to echo Mike's, observations, look. We'll take a look when we pan out a little bit. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Topsail defenders are at the 15 or beyond it. Yeah, so no long passes this time. It's going to be plays going to be made in front of you.
So 4 seconds left before the break. Williams has to get rid of it, and it is batted down. That was number 12, Walter Moore, who made several really nice defensive plays and ends the first half with some nice coverage and a pass deflection. So after 24 minutes of game action, the visiting Topsail Pirates lead the West Brunswick Trojans 34-7 on your FOCUS Broadband TV Game of the Week. We'll be back with the second half. And we're back, almost set for the start of the second half here from M.H. Rourke Stadium on the campus of West Brunswick High School in Charlotte. Topsail 34, West Brunswick 7 at halftime. Trojans will get the ball to start the third quarter. And, Jay, your impressions from the first 24 minutes of game action tonight?
Well, Sam, how do you say this? I mean, I just think this is a night, and this is probably a season for West Brunswick football where more often than not, the teams that you're going up against probably have equal to, if not more, good players than you do.
Yeah.
And so, and so, where do you go from that? Well, you teach, you coach, you develop. It seems like Coach Handy's got the kids mentally prepared. They're doing the kinds of things. They're in the right places on the field, but they just may not have quite the athleticism and the size and the experience yet. But if the folks in Charlotte that follow West Brunswick can kind of hang with them, get through them this period, I think the future could be bright. Most of their talent is at 9th and 10th graders, and they're going to get better, but they're going to have some lumps, and this evening is just another one of many.
Garrett Powell fields the kick, does a good job securing it, and then just getting up the field and getting what he can to about the 31-yard line. So West Brunswick trails by 27, and Jay, if I could expound on that point very briefly, make no mistake, the Trojans have a lot of, I would say, most of their most talented kids are underclassmen.
Yeah.
I mean, Jude Surigao, Jaquel Davis, Josiah Borton. There's a lot of young kids on this roster who are really talented. Look at Williams go. Look at him run that football. That is a tough individual effort right there.
Yeah, they have got a solid core of 10th graders. And as you see, Tristan Williams, who is a senior but not coming off the field the way you would like, favoring that appears to be his left foot, left ankle. But
man, Jay, and if he's hobbling off, he's feeling some kind of pain because he is a tough cookie.
Yeah, and he's one of the veterans on this team that you kind of need to offset the abundance of youth.
Well said, partner. So Josiah Borton back in at quarterback for the Trojans. 2nd and 7. There's a handoff to Davis. Man, he's good. He's good, Jay.
Wait, let me tell you.
Jay, they just got Lyndon Clemens. He absolutely buried a kid from his offensive line position, and they are going to get him for a personal foul.
25 yards away from where the ball carrier was.
Jay, I think that he just got him kind of one last time as the kid was trying to get up, and it was right about the time that Davis was being tackled to the ground. And, man, so I think it's a first down. The ball's at the 42, and then they'll back up 15 to the 27, but it still should be 1st and 10.
Yeah, personal foul against the Trojans. So
yeah,
Lyndon maybe just got, it's a little frustrating too, right? When you're giving your all and you still are coming up short. So
Jay, that was my broken clock moment. Got that one right. The first down stands. The ball was moved back to the 27, and it'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, I love that fact that all of us are right 2 times a day, just like a broken clock watch or whatever. But, yeah, Sam, I think you do that a little more than 2 times a day. So
I don't know their partner.
Very modest.
False start.
Gosh, that hurts.
So 1st and 10 quickly becomes 1st and 15. as a Trojan offensive lineman moved a little too early. 11-11 the game clock shows. Topsail 34, West Brunswick 7. Thanks to everyone for joining us this week on the FOCUS Broadband TV Game of the Week. Jay, had a little bit shorter drive this week with Tabor City last week, so we didn't rack up quite as much mileage.
No.
Tonight. Much longer walk up the bleachers, though, as production manager Nathan Evers.
It's like a high rise, and there's another false start penalty.
False start against the tight end there at the bottom of your screen. So the 1st and 15 will become a 1st and